gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
The biggest names in music.
Oh, wow.
Big names, big songs, big guests, big prizes.
Well, it's a big show. Okay.
The Big Show.
Put your hands together for the one and only
Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean.
That's what I'm talking about.
1FM 91.3. Good times, greatest hits.
1, 2, 3.
Good morning and welcome to The Big Show right here on 1FM 91.3. It's Glenn, Angel, FD, Sean, and Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
You're looking lovely this morning.
Yeah, because Sean says must go closer to the camera, so I'm trying to push
Yes.
If you don't know what Dr. Jerry is talking about, you can always watch all the fun on our Facebook page. It's 1FM 913 for The Big Show TV. Today is Therapy Tuesday. So what do you have for us today, Dr. Jerry?
We have geriatric depression and suicide. I know it's a heavy topic, but
Such a fun topic.
it is. But I know that you guys are wonderful with topics like that. So I'm going to throw that out and we're going to talk about it.
Okay, here's the thing. How old do
First
you have
and foremost, okay, FD, before you ask that very important question, I just want to say that we should all be so thankful that Facebook is up once again. If not, the Big Show
Yes.
TV wouldn't be happening right now.
Life can go on.
Very true.
I gave the Facebook people a call this morning.
Yes.
Did
I
you?
said,
Yeah.
look, I don't care if what do you call it goes down any other time of the day. It cannot be down at 8 a.m. because we need that 1 hour for the Big Show TV. So they said, okay, we'll make sure we fix it. And
Just for the
there you
hour,
go.
right?
So,
And then whatever happens later is fine.
Thank you very much
Not
to
our
the
problem
people
anymore.
from Facebook. Yes. Okay. FD, go ahead.
So here's the thing. We're going to talk about geriatrics and depression and suicide. How old do you have to be a geriatric?
FD is asking for himself, right?
Yes, I am.
So by definition, geriatrics are 65 and above.
What?
But
FD, didn't you just turn 65?
Yes.
senior citizens that we always say, right, can be as young as 60 years old. And I was like, 60 years old, they're considered senior citizens.
I always thought a geriatric, being geriatric, you'd be 75 and older. That's how I would have
Dr. Jerry, if you were to classify, if you could be given your own sort of definition, how old would you say a geriatric person should be?
That is very tricky. I would not know.
Subjective.
It is very subjective. They need to put down a number, right? You know, so they can't go around testing everybody's intellectual level or emotional level or physical level. So they have to give a number.
Has this definition been around for a long time?
It has been around, yes.
The age 65.
Yes,
So,
yes.
people are living longer these days. The lifespan of people is longer. So shouldn't that technically go up as well?
They might review it, but I don't know who is the one. Who are the people that review
We
it?
should speak to the Geriatric Society. I think.
No, but so how is this figure derived? Is it physical abilities, mental abilities? Do they base it on that?
Yeah,
Or
because
is
I
it
get the
just
impression when
age?
you say geriatric, right, I think about, old people with mobility issues.
Yes.
I
cognitive
I
issues.
honestly don't know, and we probably would need to get an expert on geriatrics to come in.
Okay, that's okay. That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So is there really a Geriatrics Association of Singapore, like what Angel mentioned early on?
I was kidding.
Oh,
There are-
I thought he
there
was
are
serious.
But I'm sure there is some sort. There are groups,
There are
okay.
groups that look into the geriatrics. There are elder care, definitely elder care centers out there looking out for this population.
But FD, don't worry, okay? I mean, I know you feel a little uneasy being referred to as geriatric. You're not a vain person, so you shouldn't feel too much. The person who should be feeling really bad about it is Dick Lee.
Oh,
Because
on.
Dick is also 65 like
Same
you.
age, yes.
oh.
So if there's anyone who is probably gonna dread being referred to as a geriatric, it's him.
Oh,
Okay, can we do away with that and call seniors then?
Seniors,
I think
yeah.
seniors.
I
You
tell
know,
you why.
Let's say seniors.
I looked it up, and the definition of geriatric, and I don't see this in yourself, FD, or even Dick Lee, relating to old people, especially with regard to their health care or an old person who's receiving special care. Neither one of you is getting that.
Is
So
that, yeah.
you're
No,
not
but
geriatric.
This is the thing. And I'm just going to open up here, right? The term geriatric, and I will say this, is a horrible term to
It
use on
is.
anybody.
Yeah.
Senior
It's
is a
become-
horrible term as well.
Yeah.
Senior is
It's
horrible.
become
Old
almost
people is awful.
derogative.
It
No,
is, yeah.
senior I can see. Senior I can see as someone you respect, someone who's done his bit for society or whatever, and he's retired. He's a senior. But geriatric is almost
Like a
almost
delinquent.
negative.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's how I feel.
That's my
sad.
personal feel.
So should
That's
we
my personal
cancel the term geriatric then?
That's a good idea.
We're
yeah.
living in a cancel culture society.
yep.
What?
Okay, the Big Show cancels geriatrics.
How?
The term.
It is a
Cancel
clinical term.
It's a clinical term.
Yeah, yeah. So in all other references, we call seniors, just
Okay.
like you're senior in school, right? So
Yeah.
seniors. And then if we are going to talk about anything clinical, we talk about geriatric.
Okay.
Okay, I see.
I'm going to
Okay.
use it to insult old people.
Right?
Geriatric. You know what? Because there's some old people who are always grumpy and, really unpleasant and inconsiderate and all that. So for people like that I come across, I'll go like, you geriatric, you.
I've heard some people use that on younger people as well. Grumpy people. You're like, you're such a geriatric, Can't you walk faster?
Can't you walk faster?
Oh no!
I think it's nice. It's nice to see the fun in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are lacking a sense of humor these days. They're being so sensitive.
Sensitive,
for
yeah.
everything and anything.
Too true.
Anyway,
true,
okay, let's play a song right now while we continue to talk to Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room on the Big Show TV. Here's Queen with Bohemian Rhapsody on 1FM 91.3.
Dr. Jerry, I think you're...
He almost said Dr. Geriatric Tan, right?
No
Almost.
lah. I won't do that.
So Jerry,
Well, she would have laughed at
Dr.
it.
Jerry, can you just double check your mic? Because I don't think you're going through your mic.
Yeah, your mic is
Your-
off, no?
You're going through your laptop instead of your mic.
Yeah, so
I'm going through my laptop.
that's better.
there you go.
Your mic normally works when you put it in front of you.
Yes, it does.
It's okay if we can see it. It's fine.
Yeah, I can
I'm
see.
worried about echo.
No,
But okay, let me know if we echo, and then
Yes.
I'll put on the earphones. Yes.
Try to put the what do you call the microphone, closer to you even?
In
Just
front
in front
of
of
you.
you.
Just right
See
in front
whether
of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Mic test.
Oh,
mic
Oh,
test.
much better.
There you go.
Like a broadcaster you are.
yeah, that's good. That's good.
Procaster.
So Jerry, today we're going to talk about geriatrics or seniors
Yes,
and
seniors.
depression and suicide. What kind of issues do they have? I mean, there's always the fear of growing old, right?
Yeah, I think what sparked off was the latest wave of COVID, and already this topic has been spoken about. So I read off one of the reports. So in 2020, Singapore reported 452 suicides, a 13% increase compared to 400 cases in 2019,
Yes.
highest since 2012.
Right.
And then it goes on to say a whole lot of other statistics. And the last one really caught me. The number of elderly aged 60 and above who took their own lives reached a high at 154 deaths.
Oh dear.
Wow.
A 26% increase.
This was a period of a year?
2019. Sorry.
A 1 year period, is it?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. And this was reported mid this year. Yeah, so when I saw the new wave, I think it was very concerning. And if we see the trends of COVID deaths recently, they are all the elderly.
Yes, they are.
Mostly, not all, mostly, you have your 60s and above. Yeah. So I thought I wanted to pick that up. I think it was really exciting also because last Friday, we had our pilot run of, how I always say, let's do a 6-monthly checkup, for mental health. So we did that for the one of the elder care. So Young and Elder Care, we partner with them, and we had an afternoon of virtual mental health checkup for the seniors, which was really exciting.
So what do you do with them when you do a mental health checkup?
We do a little bit of the cognition and a lot of the mental health survey. So to check their moods, to check whether they are suicidal, whether they have thoughts of it even. Yeah. And it's very quick.
What did you
quick.
learn?
Oh, that one was because it's a pilot run, and these were voluntary seniors that came forward. We had a blast, I would tell you. And I asked them, is this the first time you're talking to a psychologist? They say, yes. Do you know what this is? It's a mental health checkup. And at the end of it, they realized it was so painless. It wasn't scary at all. It was painless.
So, Dr. Jerry, you said there's an increase in suicides amongst the seniors. I know there's an increase in suicides overall because of the whole pandemic, and people are doing it obviously for various reasons. Are the older people doing it for the same reasons as the younger people? Because like for the younger people, a lot of them say are losing their jobs, can't support their families and stuff like that. But when you're 60 and above, it's not so much about losing your job and things like that. So what is causing the increase?
So for the seniors, right, what is important to them? Family, friends, being able to do what they can do.
Socialize?
Being able to go out, being able to be free to do whatever that they want to do at this age and at this stage.
And now
right?
they're being encouraged not to leave the homes, right?
Yeah.
Not just see people, but leave the homes.
So they can't even go out and sit at a coffee shop and just, lim kopi with their friends, with their kaki, right? They can't loiter around. They get scolded for loitering. Okay, they don't get scolded. They are encouraged to go home or to leave the premises. So they basically are imprisoned in their own home.
And are they mostly living alone?
The numbers are not, I don't
Not
have
specific,
all the numbers,
right?
but some of them, increasingly, many of them are living alone.
Yeah.
My father-in-law, for example, lives in. I tell you what. When we come back, I'll talk to you about my father-in-law and where he lives and what's happening.
Okay. Stand by.
Also, those of you watching on Facebook Live, the t-shirt.
Yeah, t-shirt giveaway. Count the number of vinyls that appear. Yesterday it was 3.
Oh, you mean right now there's one?
Telling an
Okay.
answer.
Today is 1, right? So far.
So far.
Queen Bohemian Rhapsody right here on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3. We also have an exclusive contest going on for you if you are a Big Show TV viewer. All right.
All you have to do is,
The reason why I haven't said home viewers is because I realize that people are catching us from everywhere,
all over the
not
place.
just at home. So if you're a viewer of the Big Show TV, look out for the vinyls that we're flashing. All right. Count the number of vinyls today, add it to the number of vinyls that appeared yesterday, and keep on accumulating the vinyls. At the end of the week on Friday, all right, jot down that number, all right, and submit it.
Yes.
All right. I do believe that if you go to the 1FM 91.3 Facebook page, we have pinned our contest video to the top. So what you can do is just state the total number of times you've seen the vinyls, total number of vinyls that you've seen throughout the week on Friday, and then we will pick someone to win an exclusive Big Show t-shirt customized with your name on it. All right. That announcement will be made on Monday. Next Monday.
Yep.
All right. Okay. We are with Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room right now. I believe FD has a question for Dr. Jerry. We're talking about geriatrics today and suicide.
Not a question, but an observation. Jerry was talking about how people, the elderly, can't go out and socialize now, so they're in their homes, and it's almost like a prison. My father-in-law lives in one of these little, I like to call them retirement of HDB apartments. You know, the little one rooms,
Granny flats.
the granny flats.
Mm.
And
What
for
is
the
a
longest
one-room
time,
flat, FD? What
Yeah,
is
it's like a granny flat.
It's a granny
everything.
flat,
It's a
yeah.
really small flat. It's designed for the elderly. There are all kinds of safety measures put into place.
They've got bars in the bathroom
and
and all that.
alarms
It's
and stuff like
compact,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, for the longest time, these elderly would be downstairs at the void deck, playing their chess and stuff. Hate to say it, masks off and whatever else. But in this latest wave, they have cordoned off the entire void deck. So
Yep.
no one can even go down to the void deck to sit. So these people are now stuck in their homes. So I understand what you're saying by being trapped, because at the most in these homes, there's one or two people. That's it. It's husband, wife, and that's it, or just the wife, just the husband, right?
And
it's depressing.
Very sad. Yeah,
It's very sad.
I think for those that deliver like food to the elderly, so I did a round on Sunday, and some of them prefer contactless. So gone are the days where we knock on the door and they open and they say, thank you, and we have a little like exchange a word or two. Nowadays they say contactless, so you hang it at the door. You knock, you hang it at the door and hope that they open the door and get it, get their food. And you lose that humanness. You lose that even little chit chat where someone comes and speaks with you because of the fear of this entire situation.
Yeah.
Right, because they're sad, they might be frustrated as well. The reason why we're talking about this, folks, because I just realized that we mentioned it on the Big Show TV, but we didn't quite mention this on the radio. Dr. Jerry did highlight that in terms of the number of suicides amongst geriatrics, it's gone up this year, right?
26%.
It's gone up last year. So this year, we haven't got the numbers yet. Yeah, but it is very concerning. Yeah.
So, I mean, the elderly are being encouraged not to leave their homes. I think they're also encouraged at that age not to visit each other, although it's legally allowed, one a day for two people and stuff like that. How do we help them if it's not by virtual calls? Because that's the last thing they want.
I guess there's so many different apps, activities that are available for them, and for listeners, just feel free to type into the Facebook. Facebook is up, so type into the Facebook and let us know how else we can connect with them. It could be calls, it could be video calls, it could be a care pack. It could be teaching them how to use their mobile phones and the apps on their mobile phones. So that was one of the seniors which I was chatting with last Friday, and it was really fun because she asked, so what are the games on my phone that can stimulate my brain? I was like, whoa. Yes. So I kind of touched it over to the worker over in the elder care to just run through with her, some of the apps or some of the games that they can play.
But there's only so much that they can do. I can imagine how they're feeling, stuck in a small flat, nobody around them. They can't see their friends and all that. And the phone there's only so much time that the phone is going to entertain them.
But if they're into Netflix, they'll survive. No?
Yeah, boy.
But not all of them have. Like my mom, for example, she's happy just being at home. She's like in
Korean
her
dramas.
mid-70s, right? And she just watches TV, walks around the house, of course. My brother is at home, but she's happy not going out, just staying in and being safe. She always says, this minister, that minister has advised us to stay at home, I'm like, good, Mom. She's probably referring to Ong Yi Kang. No?
But she's also got the advantage of your brother being there. A lot of people don't.
That's true, actually.
A lot of people don't.
That's
true.
true.
And they're not
It's the ones
she's
who
not
are
in a
alone.
granny flat. You know, where she's surrounded by older people and stuff
And
like
chances are, if you're in a granny flat, you probably would not be paying for something like Netflix.
No,
or-
Netflix and stuff
or
like that.
whatever.
They do the free-to-air
I
channels.
beg to differ. There are a lot that do, and most of it is actually paid for by their kids and stuff like that. But it's the size of the flat that's very small, and when you're stuck in there, it gets claustrophobic.
claustrophobic, yeah.
It
I
does
think
get
it is
claustrophobic.
important. While the size is very stuffy or very claustrophobic, it is very important we go down to basics, where they start to understand or they start to know what is out there. So the certainty of certain things, certainty of the illness, you see, geriatric depression has been around even before COVID. And it's because of retirement, limited mobility, you have illnesses. So all these do get them down. So if we go back to basics, right, to know what to do when your health deteriorates, to be engaged in an interest. So many of them love gardening. Yes, Angel.
All right, let's carry this on the Big Show TV, and we can continue to talk about that.
And I think that's a very good point, Jerry. I just want to highlight the fact that, when one is ill, that's when you start to feel depressed. So I do believe that, a lot of the geriatrics that you're talking about, as they grow older, they come down with various illnesses and all that, and that brings them down. Brings their mood down, and they start thinking about all kinds of things. All right, we continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Westlife, Seasons in the Sun on 1FM 91.3. Yeah, even for a young person, let's say a young person comes down with an illness, you start to feel sad, you start to feel depressed. So imagine these senior citizens.
Yeah, and with geriatrics, when you come down with one illness, it's never one.
No.
Yeah, it leads to something else.
It leads to others. It leads to others. It leads
But
to
I
others.
but I beg to differ with the fact that even like if you're old and you get sick and stuff like that, even if you're young and you're living alone in a small flat like that and you're unable to do stuff, it's going to make you depressed as well, whether you're well or not.
True.
If we put ourselves in that position of having, I don't know, a 200, 300 square foot house, I don't know how big it is, and with only very limited resources, not being able to know how to use a phone or technology and stuff like that, being surrounded by people who are also in the same situation and being encouraged not to leave the house and hang out with other people, I'd be depressed as well. And I think even if I have my health also, I'd still be depressed.
So how do we help them, Jerry? How do we
No,
help
you'll be
these people?
sad, but you won't be depressed. But I think a lot of people they clump the two together.
Yes, of course.
you
Yeah,
know. But this whole clinical depression is
it is serious.
That's
Yeah.
another level altogether.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that is what will lead to suicidal thoughts. If you are sad, if you're just sad, you won't think about killing yourself. But if you're clinically depressed, that's when you start having, suicidal thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, Glenn's got a very interesting point there. A lot of us, or there are those listening whose elderly parents do not live with them. They're stuck away in their own lives because they're very independent. What am I looking out for?
So you're looking out for things like they are so we look at functioning, right? It has to affect functioning. Their hygiene goes down. So if you go into the room and go like, oh, how come, there's a smell, they haven't showered, or they don't want to get out of bed, right? We were talking about Netflix, but what if they can't even bring themselves to watch anything? What if you want to sit with them and they can't speak with you? They just turn their faces away, and it's not because of the usual grumpiness or, they're a little bit more irritable, but it's a change that you realize they start to not want to talk to you, not want to not socialize like you and I socialize, but even chit chat, because they love to talk to the children, to the grandchildren, to their friends, right? They start to feel very restless, or they don't feel anything at all, like the numbers are rising. okay, like that.
No
lah.
mood, yeah.
Or the friend passes away and they feel nothing at all. I would be very concerned if they don't show any emotion at all.
What about they start like hoarding things? Is that a sign of anything at all?
Well, check in with them because we don't know why they are doing certain behaviors, right? But they might have their own reasons why they want to keep certain things, and each thing might have its own sentimental value. So I wouldn't stop them, but we want to try and understand them. A lot of seniors, they tend to go on hunger strikes. So it's a very interesting way that they just abstain from food and they don't eat, thinking that they would slowly fade away, So we would want to encourage them to eat. If they've lost their appetite, can we encourage them to drink something at least? And even, for non-geriatric depression, we have the crying spells. Geriatrics also have their crying spells. So they sob and they cry.
And sometimes those crying spells are not crying spells like we know them. It's not about tears. Sometimes their crying spells are, correct me if I'm wrong, things they do. It's almost like they're calling out for help. That's why they do certain things.
Yeah, but I think Jerry was talking about the crying, right? Sobbing.
But it's not only sobbing. There are many other ways that they can cry out for help, is what I'm saying.
Do you want to share, FD?
Have you been crying out for help?
No, I haven't been crying out for help. I mean, well, yes, working with you for over 20 years, of course I've cried out for help.
FD, can I ask you a personal question, FD? Because you're the only one, I think, amongst us that has someone that's of that age, a lot older. I don't know how old your father-in-law is. 80s, I would think.
Yeah.
How is he doing on his own? Without being able to head out and hang out with friends and stuff like that?
It's tough for him. I'm sure it's tough for him. He wants to go out, but he's also someone who hasn't been vaccinated, so he's very limited in what he can do. And I'm sure it's not easy. And he gets restless. But what can he do?
Yeah, but based on what FD has been telling me about his father-in-law, one thing I can say about his father-in-law, and I've met his father-in-law briefly at your daughter's wedding. I can tell that he is an extremely strong man, very strong, very in his mind as well. And that's so important for someone who's that age.
But I will tell you one thing that has come up through this pandemic, and it's important, I feel, for those listening. If you have elderly who are not living with you and you have children, keep your children in touch with those elderly people, because that's a godsend for them. That is really a godsend for them.
I totally agree. My dad loves to pick my children up from school.
Yeah.
And mommies, I really loves to see them. Just that now it's a little bit worrying because of the numbers. Yeah. But she would still be very gung-ho and say, send them over. And I go like, really? But yes, I can see how much they love, the grandchildren. Yeah. And one thing that came up with the seniors that I spoke with last Friday is that they all love cooking for the grandchildren. They say, it's very fulfilling. It's very fulfilling.
Yeah. They love feeding them.
Yes.
Right. Is your father-in-law a good cook?
Yeah.
No, okay. So maybe like what Jerry said, her father loves picking up her kids, but don't let your father-in-law pick your daughters up, huh? He'll break his back.
He'll break a bone or two.
Yeah, they're quite old already right now.
Yeah, no, but basically what I'm saying is just stay in contact. Talk to him, even if it's over Zoom. They just want to see the face and hear the voice.
Yeah.
They want that contact with their grandchildren, and that is so important. I'm a big believer in that.
Yep. Hi, Julian.
Hello.
Hi, Julian.
All dressed up. I can tell Julian's all dressed up, ready to leave for work.
Yeah.
Yes, I am ready to leave for work. I've got a Volkswagen Tiguan launch coming up.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
maybe I do want to share a little bit, and also to say hi to my aunt who is living alone. And the very, very sad thing is that she's got COVID.
Oh dear.
Yep.
Is it serious? Is it showing a lot of signs or asymptomatic?
Well, thank goodness hers was really, really mild. She was diagnosed last week. So it's one thing to hear about the numbers. And another thing that you have a family member that is part of those numbers. But she's fully vaccinated and she is at home, still PCR positive. But, I think one thing that I learned is, please, for seniors that are staying alone, please reach out. Yeah, but
check in.
Yeah. I think it was really scary for her because, and I'm sure for whichever senior that is diagnosed, and that it is a shock for the whole system, especially when the seniors are avoiding the places, diligently crowded areas, being very careful, and they're still diagnosed with it. So there was loss, there was, that feeling of like, oh, I don't know what to do. Oh no, who was I in contact with? Or that fear, that guilt that sits on them, that was really scary. But please still reach out.
Okay.
All right. Them to reach out.
We're going to go for a traffic break. We'll come back with you, Jerry, and you can end off, the show, and then we'll hand it over to Julian. Okay? Here we go.
Traffic.
Alrighty, we've got the usual delays across the expressways. That's not going to surprise you too much. Julian will run into one or two when he's off to his launch, I'm sure. But other than that, the areas that you want to look out for, the KJE towards the BKE. We have a vehicle broken down. This is at the BKE
And that's it for traffic.
Exit. Oh, that's going to slow you down a wee bit. Off the expressways. Sorry. What did you say?
No, you got cut off there.
You hung for a
Your
while.
connection, yeah.
Oh, I hung for a while. Okay, so KJE towards the BKE, vehicle broken down at the BKE Woodlands exit. Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5 towards Avenue 6, roadworks after Ang Mo Kio Avenue 8. Southbridge Road towards Spring Street, roadworks after Sego Lane. Stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
All right, we're back on The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Dr. Geraldine Tan, thank you so much for your time. Before you go, as usual, words of wisdom?
I will say what I told the seniors last week. But before that, I realized one thing very, very important for the seniors that they might find useful: spiritual health. A lot of them speak of spiritual health, and that really comforts them. So for those that have, something that they can go to, please continue that. If not, the yoga, the meditation does help quite a number of people. And okay, I will share what I said to the seniors. And it's a very simple thing because all of them, we had such a great time. So I told them good things must share, but bad things also must share. A very simple concept. Good or bad, please share with someone and share that with another person. So the burden is just halved.
Okay. So, Jerry, you see seniors as well, right? If they need
not my
help.
forte, but
Okay.
what we did was to introduce the idea of mental health to them and started the 6 months, so twice yearly checkup, mental health checkup for them.
I see.
Okay, love it.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
No worries.
This is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room for those of you who may be tuning in for the very first time. Thank you so much, Jerry. We'll see you next week.
See you.
See
Bye,
you.
Jerry.
Bye, Julian.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
There you go. From the lovely Dr. Geraldine Tan, it's the lovely Julian Koh, editor of SG Karmat. So, FD mentioned the launch. You're off to
A Volkswagen
launch?
Volkswagen Tiguan launch. Yes.
Oh,
Tiguan.
nice.
Oh, the Tiguan
Yeah.
launch. Okay,
Yeah, they're launching the
fantastic.
new car, so we're gonna meet up at Dempsey before heading off to some off-road location just to try out the car.
I
Oh,
see.
nice. Oh,
Okay.
a little bit of testing.
All right.
So did they send you the invite by putting a flyer on your car?
Nope, they did not. Which brings us to the next one that we really should talk about. I mean, can you or can you not put flyers on the car? Is it legal to put flyers on the car?
I say no.
I hate it.
I say it's vandalism because it's your property and they're vandalizing the car.
Just because you don't want to get.
No, but it happened to me a couple of times, right? Or maybe more than a couple of times. I don't just get flyers; I get name cards. I get notes. I had a note once on my car, and it said, "I really want to buy your car. If you're ever keen on selling it, please let me know."
But they put a smile on your face, right? Those kind of notes put smiles on your face.
I guess. But there I get a lot of like name cards. I get a lot of flyers. And flyers I can see, obviously, because of the size of the whole ad. But if it's just a name card, sometimes I could be in a rush, right? I could be carrying my daughter in and then I got to rush off to school and then to work. And I don't realize it until I hear some flapping noise. Just really minor. I'm thinking, where on earth is this coming from? I just look around, and I realize, oh, it's actually on my dashboard. It's actually right in front where the wiper is.
Yeah.
It gets very annoying. I have to say, it gets very annoying. But here's the answer. It is not illegal to put flyers.
Oh, you're kidding me.
It is absolutely legal. Yes, people have the right to do it. Yeah. Of course, they will have to do due diligence. They've got to check, is it... Because, there are certain areas in Singapore where you probably wouldn't want to do it. I mean, I suppose you wouldn't want to put it near the White House, or you wouldn't want to put it near some embassy of sorts, right? That just isn't... Because you could be putting in someone important, and they don't really want that to happen. So... you always have to make sure that it's okay to put flyers, even though it's legal, but you'll still want to double check. Always double check, because you could get in trouble if you put flyers on cars randomly without knowing some rules and regulations in that particular area, like, near embassy and all that kinds of stuff.
Private housing and stuff. But why wouldn't you want like an embassy person under your database? Like, I want all the fancy people.
See, that's why I get all the flyers, because I'm just unimportant. That's how it works.
I think it's perfectly okay. I've thought about this, long and hard, and I will never want to deprive someone from making some
Doing a
money.
business.
And these people who put out flyers, they get paid, peanuts, but it's still money to them. So don't hate on them just because they're putting, flyers on your car. They're doing all the work. All you need to do is just take it and if there's one
throw
sin,
it away.
it is killing the trees. That is the one sin, wasting paper. But other than that, someone needs the money. They do this not because they're having fun, but because it's work for them.
It's work. Yeah.
I've got to say, I don't hate the person putting the flyer out. I hate the flyer.
Oh, that's what I just said.
So you're hating the flyer itself. No, he hates the piece of
not the
paper.
person.
Okay. All right. Up next, Mr. Big. Here's Wild World on The Big Show, 1FM 91.3.
Okay, we're back.
So question is, Julian, how effective are these flyers though? How often have you actually looked at it and called the number?
Not once.
How
once.
effective is it? I get what you're saying, Glenn. It is everybody's prerogative to earn a living, to get their business out there, to create awareness and stuff like that. But how effective is this marketing, or is it just a waste of paper?
I think it's a waste of paper, to be honest. Okay, but then again, fun fact, right? SG Carmart, when we first started out, the 3 founders of the company did exactly
the same thing.
did exactly that.
Okay.
I can tell you that one of the largest property developers in Singapore started out by selling their property that way.
It's creating awareness of your brand. Anyway.
It's creating awareness of the brand.
You don't even need to call them, but you are aware of, okay, this thing exists.
It exists.
Yeah.
I suppose. But you see, this never happened at my parents' place, at a private property, right? It never happened. But you could, I guess you could probably check out with the condo management if I'm not wrong, you can actually show them a sample of your flyer. It would usually get approved. But again, I don't see that happening on condos at all.
What do you mean? Flyers being put? They go into the letterbox.
Yeah, wouldn't they go into the
that's a good
letterbox?
point.
They
That
go
is a
into the
good point.
letterbox instead,
Yeah.
right?
That is a good
But
point.
most of us can block our letterboxes right now,
You
so
can
people
as well,
can't put
Yeah.
flyers in. Only the postman has the master
key.
key.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Yeah.
to actually put you've not
Round the
locked
back,
your
yeah.
your
I've
flat.
never opened
Right,
my
right,
letterbox
right.
in my
There
life.
you go.
But I feel like flyers like property launches, those do well. The ones that say, "Oh, rent your house to me," you know, if you want to sell your house or if you need your car cleaned or whatever it is, those don't do so great.
Okay, it's just because I'm not sure, right? Are those McDonald's and KFC vouchers considered flyers? You know how they have discount coupons and all this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those are always welcome, right? Who doesn't want a
Free
coupon?
thing, sure.
I don't take fast food at all. So here's another fun fact. I never do fast food, but for the past 3 months, I think I've had so much fast food because of my daughter. I'm gonna puke.
Oh no!
Every time I see the brand.
Wow.
That's just crazy. That's just I just have to please. I'm just trying my best to spend more time with her. I'm just trying my best. And yeah, I have to talk about this with Dr. Jerry, man.
You should.
I gotta talk about this with Dr. Jerry.
You have a problem with fast food.
Fast food syndrome.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I digress. But yes, at the end of the day, if you've got a company, if you've got something that you want to talk about, if you've got something that you want to promote, I think it's not wrong to put flyers or even name cards on people's cars, but please do so very, very carefully because you'll never know. You might just scratch the car. And there was a case once where the owner actually brought it up. I think there was some legal case that he wanted to bring up to the company from the flyer itself, saying that, you know what, your flyer actually scratched my car, so and so forth. I don't think it needs to reach that stage.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't reckon, in all honesty, I don't reckon like a thin flyer would actually scratch.
Yeah, exactly. What was the
Right?
guy doing to put it
I
on?
think what happened was he didn't realize the flyer was there. It probably rained and he did the wiper and it just swiped all over, you know, and that probably caused a bit of scratches.
Yeah.
On the windscreen.
Exactly.
Right.
So to me, it doesn't have to be that way. I think I have to completely agree with Glenn when he said that these people are probably doing their jobs. It's probably a really painful job to do as well
Yeah.
because you got to go like car after car.
terrible.
Yeah.
And I think they're independent from the company as well. So it doesn't necessarily
just
mean
hired,
that
yeah.
they're
Yeah,
just
they're
hired
hired
people
part-time.
who have hired to distribute the flyers. And maybe the companies who are hiring these people, you know, it'll do them well to maybe tell these people who are putting the flyers on the cars to be careful, not to damage you know, people's cars.
And now that you've brought that up, I have a feeling that some of these people that put the flyers on the cars were also actually paid to give them out on the street.
Probably.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
think,
I've
okay,
done
I
that
need to
before.
get rid. I need to get rid of the flyers. I'll just go put them all in a car in 10 minutes on all the cars, and I'm done. Instead of standing there having
Yeah.
people reject you and stuff like that. But here's a question: as a car owner, what kind of flyer would you pay attention to? This is for anyone who's listening in who wants to give out flyers so that they can up their marketing.
Massage
What kind of-
services.
Oh, no, but what kind of picture or anything like would actually make you stop
Sexy
it, Glenn.
girl.
Would actually make you look at it? You know, at least give them a little bit of credit for having put that flyer together.
Scantily clad.
Okay.
In all honesty, nothing works for me. In all honesty, nothing
Really?
works for me because I think it sort of depends on timing. I think a lot of it is timing. Like if at this point in time I'm looking for a brand new shoes, for instance, and that's just so happened that the flyer has got some nice kicks on it, and I just feel like, you know what, that's the boots I want to get, or that's the sports shoes I want to get. I might actually take notice it. But if it's just like everyday life, like I don't buy a lot of stuff. I'm your typical boring sort of guy. Uniqlo, I should actually be the spokesperson.
But
for
you
Uniqlo
said that.
because- Yeah, right.
So if you saw a Uniqlo flyer on your dashboard, you would look
yes,
at that.
actually, you've
Okay.
got a good point, Angel.
So
yeah.
favorite brands. So favorite
Yeah.
brands.
I
Okay.
might
I don't
actually
think
do that.
I've ever looked at a flyer that was put on any windscreen of my car.
I'd say as
I just throw it
parents,
away.
you'd probably look at stuff that's colorful for kids, right? I mean, you see like during the holidays, I'm sure they have like things that are going on and stuff like that that they would put on the cars as well.
I hate to say this because I've always thought that flyers mean cheap or scam.
Oh,
That's
okay.
always been my impression. A flyer on a car is something just damn cheap, or it's not
a
going to
scam.
last.
Right.
It's a scam. That's always been my impression, which is why I never read it. I just crush it. Nearest bin.
What a waste of paper. Yeah.
Absolute waste of paper.
Have you guys
At least
seen,
make the paper like useful. Yes, Sean.
Have you guys seen the flyers that are designed like saman tickets?
No.
I've heard about them. I've never
I've
seen them.
seen that. I've
Yeah.
seen
that's
that.
So
effective.
that one everybody will check because they panic.
Wow.
They always think it is me. They say, hey, it's an ad for something. Okay, wait, we
That's
do want
so
traffic
smart.
before we go back on air.
Alrighty. Usual delays across the expressways. That's what you have. KJE towards the BKE. A vehicle broken down at the BKE Woodlands exit. Congestion is to Woodlands Road. Please stay within the speed limit. Make sure you've got everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest at this point in time is the editor of SG Karma, Julian Cole, and we're talking about flyers on our cars and whether we're okay with it, whether it was legal in the first place. We've established that it is legal.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And people can go ahead and continue to put flyers out there. But we're asking the question, is it effective?
Yeah, when Sean brought up a really interesting new tactic that they've apparently adopted, where they make their flyers look like fine tickets that are fines, right?
Yeah,
Summon
the saman
tickets.
tickets.
My goodness, I've never seen those.
Neither
I'd
have
say
I.
that's very effective marketing because everyone's going to read it.
I've seen two different kinds. I think I've seen the one that Sean was talking about. I thought that was really smart. I thought that was really cool. And I've seen another type that resembles the parking ticket, and it was actually a note to a driver who was very inconsiderate because he parked out of his line.
Oh,
And
right.
on that note, I remembered correctly, it was a nice, slim, rectangular note, and he put there, typical driver, please be less selfish in future when you park your car.
Wow! Wow!
You know, it's
so
great
eloquent.
it's great that you should bring this up because now I want to ask the question, is that legal?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right?
Why not?
Right?
But why wouldn't it?
No,
be?
I mean, that's because
it's not
it could be
business.
harassment. Right? I mean, I'm parking out of my lot, but then you leave a really rude message and someone might use a 4-letter word or something like that.
But that
and
was
put
a
it on
really
my-
eloquently written one. Though.
No, yeah, but what I'm
Very
saying is
polite.
not everyone's eloquent, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so we need to draw the line here, right? So is it legal or not? If the person were to make a report and, let's take into account everyone having dash cams right now that could be on, so we know the perpetrator,
Yeah.
right? So, could that person be in trouble?
Okay, honestly, I don't think so. I don't think it's serious enough to warrant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
Because
wouldn't it?
a
You
no.
say the camera though. Wouldn't it be funny if you just look at the camera and you just see this one arm come around because he knows you have a camera and then he slides it under.
Smart.
You don't know who it is.
That's hilarious.
I don't think it's it.
Because if we think along the lines, okay, like Julian, you and me, very similar. If we get angry, like I have thought about it on many occasions, right? Someone who's parked badly or whatever, and the thing that I will write is, you bloody whatever, I'm not going to phrase
not
it
gonna hold
nicely,
back.
you
Yeah.
piece of, the next
So no
time
please and
round,
thank you?
I will kick your car or something like that, So
Yeah.
if I were to do something like that, would it get me into trouble?
Yes.
But okay, if you think of it that way, then it'll be the same as approaching someone face to face, right?
Yes.
If you are speaking very nicely and politely to the other person, but you're telling him what's wrong and what's right, it's not wrong.
Yeah, I think it's case by case,
Yeah,
right?
but if you go up to a person face to face and you start hurling vulgarities and
That's
you
it.
start, being abusive,
Yeah.
verbally abusive,
Yeah.
then yes, I think that would warrant,
Yes. Yeah.
999. So I think it could be the same if you write a note. I mean, if
I
you
think
are if
so.
you're really harsh, with the note, which this guy, when I saw at the car park, he was just really, but he had two separate notes. I think he was just up to his neck. because I encountered this car as well, this inconsiderate driver. I actually had an encounter with him, and it was very annoying because I couldn't park my car because he just parked it way out of line. But I just told myself, you know what? If I can't park it on the first level, I can park it on the second. It doesn't matter. I don't want to wreck my day because of this, man.
Yeah.
I think they call these errand parkers as parkers, mother parkers, right? Or something like that.
Yeah. We got names for them, man. And man, when I came back and I told my wife, it wasn't just mother parkers. Yeah.
Exactly. You see, exactly.
Such a polite term.
Yeah, but I think here's the thing, right? I think thinking about it and literally doing it, it's two different things. I think that separates the good citizen from the bad citizen. I hope I belong to the good one. But I mean, that's it. If you put a note like this, harsh note on someone else's car, I would think you could probably bring it up. But my guess, I could be wrong, but my guess would the police would just tell you, you know what, just let it slide because it's just it's not worth it, to bring it up. It's just not worth the trouble. Unless it's repeated, unless like this guy.
That's harassment, right? Yeah.
And I think that would be harassment.
Yeah.
But if it's a one-off, maybe twice, I should just let it slide.
Yeah. Everything has a consequence, so
just
think before you do.
Yeah. So, mother parkers tuned in right now. Start parking properly, okay?
Yeah, right?
All right. You're irritating the crap out of everyone. Go back to driving school.
And if you have anything you want to promote, your company, whatnot, I don't know, your new Instagram account, you can put it on your people's cars. I mean, you can, but please be mindful.
Yep.
Do take note exactly which area you are at, not near some, embassy, Israel embassy or something.
With a Gurkha outside.
Exactly. Try and be a little bit more cautious. Always double check. If you have to do it in private property, please do check with the owners or the security guards. And please be mindful that it isn't. This belongs to someone else. The car belongs to someone else.
Yeah.
If someone scratches my car because of the flyer, I can't even imagine what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very, very heartbreaking, to be honest. But yeah. So
Wouldn't that be so funny if someone was promoting their Instagram account on cars? That's funny that
If it
you
works,
said
it
that,
works.
though. Right?
Wow.
It might work.
You get many reports against you.
I'm sure. I am sure.
It's like, I wonder who did this. Oh, hold on. There's the handle.
But of course, if it's an Instagram account of a sexy, scantily clad lady.
There we go. Yeah,
Nobody's going to complain, right? Okay.
They will follow.
Okay, we'll continue to talk to Julian on the Big Show TV. Meantime, here's Bananarama with I Heard a Rumor on 1FM 91.3. Good morning.
Wrapping up,
Yeah, I would love to have a note on my car, like constant note putting, saying, you know what, I want to buy your car, give me a call. I think that would be really nice.
Oh, I want to give you money now.
But would you sell your car? That's the thing.
Yeah, I would sell it because I'm still looking for my Toyota Crown.
That's it. Right. Now you got to go around looking for Toyota Crowns and putting notes on their
But
cars.
you see, this is what he's not saying. This is what Julian is not saying. Every time he sees a Toyota Crown, he leaves a sign on it going, if you ever want to sell your car, please give me a call.
He takes that same note that someone left on his car and puts it on the other car.
Just change the number.
number.
I'll just amend my number and that's it.
Reuse your paper, yeah.
But yeah, I'm very half-hearted. I think my colleague pointed out really, really accurately. He said, you know what, you're just really half-hearted about this. I don't see you putting any effort about selling your car. I don't see you putting in any advertisements on SG Carmart. And he says, like, what's going on? Are you selling or you're not selling? I was just like, I want to sell it, but I kind of just want to let it happen very naturally. If someone comes up to me and say, you know what, I really want to buy your car, dude, I'll be like, oh yeah, sure, let's work something out.
Yeah.
But do I want to force a situation out of that? I mean, I want to sell it and I'm going to buy a Crown. I think I'm gonna just chill out. I mean,
it'll happen when it happens.
Yeah, because it's not like my car is giving me problems. And in all honesty, I love my current car. I think it's your typical boy racer, almost bangish sort of car. Brings out the little,
the little
boy
bang in you.
Yeah, right. And I kind of like that. And I like
you barely drive it, so
yeah, exactly that. And when I drive it with my daughter behind, and I just swing the car around, and I see her head going boom. It makes me very happy. It makes me very happy.
This is why she doesn't talk to you.
That's why it makes you eat McDonald's all the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's like,
it makes
no.
me very happy. It makes me feel like, you know what, this is childhood, man. You should enjoy being in the back of your dad's car.
Bumped around and all that.
Exactly.
Child services is going to come and knock on your door
This,
soon.
this, this is the
Not on your car.
ultimate child. This is the ultimate childhood. Sitting in the back of your car, your father's thrashing the car all over the head place, and your head is just
And
bouncing.
thrashing
Right.
you as well in the
Right,
process.
so it actually feels good. I spoke to my wife. The missus said, you know what, if it's time to change it. I think you should really consider it. I was like, if it happens, it happens. I don't want to push it. I don't
Next thing
wanna-
your wife is going to do is buy your daughter a helmet for sitting in the back of your car.
Man, my wife always tells me, I mean, why don't you just look after the kids? Why don't you just? I said, I am looking after them. My eyes are on them. I just let them do what they want, right? If they fall and injure themselves, let it be.
It's
right?
a
This
lesson.
is-
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
a lesson. Let it be. I mean, of course they're not gonna fall in. If they risk falling and landing head first, I'll be there. But
It's
I
all
mean,
part of childhood.
yeah, I mean, come on, man. I played in sand. They play in like soft ground. That's just
Right.
ridiculous, man. I think that's just
Mats and
outrageous.
everything, right?
Exactly. That's just outrageous. But
Yeah.
then again, yeah,
Times are
It's a
changing,
different
man.
time. It's a different time.
Different topic also.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
We digress.
Yes, but for those of you who just joined us, yes, we were talking about whether or not flyers are allowed on cars. It is legal. We have already established that. Again, if you guys have anything to promote, do take note of where where the cars are located, the areas. Please be careful. Don't like put flyers and stuff near near embassies and near the White House. Obviously, if any car is parked along that stretch of road, and also always double check. Ask management, security at certain condominiums if you are allowed to do any flyers. If not, don't force your way through. It's fine, and always take care of other people's car.
And don't be dressed as a clown and go around to primary schools and put flyers on those cars either.
Oh, clowns. This
Anyway-
reminds me of that show It, right? No,
Yeah, Stephen
Yeah.
King.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, for those of you who are unaware, I think the owner of that company came up to clarify everything.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
so-
Yeah. They were quite straight up with it.
They
Yeah.
were quite
Yeah.
straight up, and I think that was a very good thing for them to do. They needed to come out and clear everything up for their own.
And of course, I mean, there were people who were making up stories. The whole clown offering
Speculating.
$1,000, that was a
Yeah.
pure lie.
that was rubbish.
Oh,
That's
really?
how
I
bad.
didn't see
Yeah.
that. I didn't
No,
read
because
that
they
part.
actually interviewed the clown.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Right,
Okay.
right,
Yes,
right.
I saw that. Yeah.
The clown was so sad. He cried.
He was-
That he was being
Oh.
accused, by everyone.
Of being a pedophile.
Yeah,
and
because
There was
people
so
were
many-
making stories up about what he did and,
Oh, no.
said and all that. It was
Yeah.
all a bunch of lies, So
Okay.
people are
Culture.
mean. People are very mean. They're always there,
Fake news.
just to jump on something and just make things worse and
Bloody
you know,
humans,
just
yep.
to try and cancel people out. So it's not the kind of
See,
society
we are the
live in.
worst. We are the worst species.
We are.
We are.
We absolutely are. Yeah. Yep.
It's absolute. It's a very sad thing to know. But look on the bright side. There are nice people.
There are
around.
good people out
There
there.
are good people. Look at us five. We're good
Yeah, there
people.
you go. We're the big
We're good
show.
people.
The famous five.
Except for the fact that I just bumped my daughter's head around in the back.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We approve.
Fine.
It's Big Show approved. That's fine.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, thank you so much, Julian, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Until
Thanks.
we meet again in 7
Yes.
days' time.
It's
Yeah, have
always
good,
a pleasure.
Have a good
Stay
drive
safe,
around in
Julian.
the Tiguan.
Yes.
Have a great
Yes,
day ahead.
I will.
Have an even
guys
better
too.
launch.
Yes, I will. Have a good week, right?
Bye bye.
Ciao.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
All right, so how many times did the vinyl appear today?
Don't tell people lah.
Okay,
10.
okay.
Twice.
If
Twice.
anything,
I tell
you
you
can
twice.
watch the video
Twice.
again, right?
So that means total 5, is it?
No, I don't tell y'all. But yes,
Okay.
5.
Okay, you know what? You guys can watch the video again. Go tell all your friends. If you missed an episode or whatever, just go back and watch it. I
And
don't know
remember,
whether-
only one person is going to win a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you got to get your answer in quick as well. One
Okay.
person.
So accumulate the total number of vinyls by Friday on our Facebook page, 1FM 91.3, and then on Monday we'll announce the winner.
We have people on our Facebook page actually helping out and putting the current count is this.
Fine.
I'm like, that's so sweet, but you are in a competition. If I were you, I'll just put fake numbers and just 10,000 now, and then everybody just blur, right? So I know the real answer, but I don't mind.
But that's the way our 1FM fans are,
So
right?
sweet.
They're
Like
so
a family, right?
Yeah.
They're a family.
super duper sweet. All right, so good
All right.
luck.
See
Thanks
you
for watching.
tomorrow.
Share the video.